weekend, okay? Meanwhile, coming up later today on Midday, I have a special lady I want you to meet. Now, yesterday, you met one kind of Letterman fan, one of the groupies. Today, you're going to meet a very different kind of Letterman fan. Andrea Pike is her name. She's married to Donny, who is one of the Lettermen. And Andrea is from La Crosse, and she has kind of a funny story to tell about how they met, how their courtship period went, and what it's like now to be on the road constantly with him. So Andrea Pike will be with us later today on Midday. Groupie, and today we'll meet the wife of one of the Lettermen. She's Andrea Pike, who comes from La Crosse. She tells us the funny story of how she met Donny and how she deals with the pressures of their marriage.
We met when Donny was working the sound for the Lettermen, and he knew some mutual friends, and they introduced, I was living with a group of girls, and they introduced me to Donny.
What town was this?
This was in La Crosse.
Before he started singing?
Yeah, this was about, what, 3 years before. So 3 or 4 years.
What got into them to introduce you to Donny?
It was a blind date.
No kidding.
Well, it wasn't blind.
Tell me about this blind date.
It was
I
either...
woke her up at 6 o'clock in the morning playing my guitar downstairs in the living room.
And I got up and...
Came downstairs and said, "Who's this idiot playing his guitar in my house at 6 o'clock in the morning?"
Had you already spotted her and decided you wanted to take her out?
No, we never met. You see, my other roommate, it was between my other roommate and myself whether we'd go out with him. And she had other plans that night. I had a term paper due, and I really didn't want to go.
So I threw in a steak dinner, and she finally...
Yeah. So I went out with him, and then we kind of hit it off.
I was on the road, and she was all I could think about, so I called. She forgot to tell you that when she introduced me to her parents, her father was a musician, played piano quite a few years back. So consequently, he warned her at great ends about musicians.
Yeah, traveled, because he traveled on the road a lot. So my dad said, he's probably got a girl in every city. And I go, yeah, well.
You took that in stride at that time, huh?
Well, I think I was aware of it too, and but what did I have to lose, really?
So she came out to California to spend the summer with me, and 3 years later we got married.
Yeah, I remember when I first saw him. I flew to Hawaii. It was more or less our honeymoon, and he performed at the HIC Center there in a big auditorium, and I'd never seen him on stage, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, it wasn't like two different people. He's still, part of his personality comes out on stage, but it was a very unreal feeling for me. It's taken me a long time to, associate the two together.
Do you still get that feeling when you see him perform on stage?
Yes. Well, at first it was like, that first time I didn't know all the songs he was singing. I didn't know his solos. But after being with him, I know all the words to all the songs. I know how he sings them, so I kind of sit there and root for him inside, hoping he's going to make a high note, or, hoping he's not going to forget these words on a new song.
Have you ever struggled with feelings of jealousy?
I've had to deal with jealousy. But I feel that if I'm in the mood, that I'm going to be jealous when there's people around for autographs, and girls are, they have their ways of coming on, then I will walk away.
How do you help Andy with these feelings of jealousy when they happen to her?
Go home with her at night.
That's true. That's true. I tend to let my feelings out, and I mean, usually within a close time of when I feel them. Like that.
We know what we have.
Yeah, that's it.
We know what our relationship is, and we know what we mean to each other, and nothing that I can foresee is going to change the feelings that we have for each other.
Kruger, who lives in New Richmond, Wisconsin, and the first thing I discovered about Deborah is she's got a fetish for onions. Mr. Kruger probably kind of stays back a little bit, because this recipe has got 1 pound of hamburger with a cup and a half of onions, all browned together. So I'm going to let you, do you know how to slice, chop onions? Okay.
Sure.
Chop that onion up.
Okay.
Okay, with this knife here, watch the fingers, okay?
Feel it out first here.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Okay, and in the meantime, I'm going to mix up the batter.
Now what you do, you take the... Okay.
Now, you told me that you make omelets and sausage?
Yeah.
Or sausage omelets?
Yeah. Sausage
so you should know that. Okay.
They're slippery though, you're going to
Yeah, they have. They're a little bit at first there. You're going to smell like onions too until who knows what time tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'm going to crack 3 eggs into this bowl. We're working together here. This is my favorite here. This one here. One hand. Got a little bit of shell in there, but that's all right.
That's okay.
3 eggs into here. Oh. I should have let it go when I had it going. Okay. 3 eggs. Now, I believe that this recipe is on some Bisquick packages. Is the hamburger going? Okay, good. We'll get that.
Oh, yeah, it's sizzling away there.
Okay. And I'm going to wipe my hands off so I don't get egg all over the Bisquick box. And we take 3 eggs, 3/4. What are you doing?
I still can't get this onion peel.
Try a knife and cut off the ends.
Oh, you cut off the ends?
Yeah, I thought you knew how to do this.
Oh, well.
Are you okay now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
3/4 of a cup of Bisquick, and that's about this much Bisquick. 3/4 of a cup, and just maybe about this much. And that goes in with the eggs. And then I have pre-measured 1.5 cups of milk and put it in here. And the onions are a key part of this recipe, Don. Okay. I'm counting on you to have those. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to stir up this mixture here. This is 3/4 cups of Bisquick, 3 eggs, 1.5 cups of milk, and I'm going to mix it all up real good. It's okay. This is only an hour show. See, before we did this cooking, the Lettermen and Barbara and myself decided who would work with who. And I thought, and he seemed so anxious to be out here doing this, I thought he knew something.
Sure.
About cooking. Any tears at all from the onions?
No tears at all.
Okay.
Not from the onions, anyway.
My egg isn't mashing up in there for some reason. Oh, there it is. Okay. A fork probably would be better, but this is my very own spoon. A couple of dear friends of mine gave me this spoon when they saw me cooking without one. Well, that's a good little move.
You like that?
Can we get a close-up of this thing with a little dancing across there like that? That is good. Okay, I'm going to come back around you over here. Stay right where you are. Okay. I'm going to work on the hamburger a little bit.
Okay.
Go ahead and measure into that cup there, that measuring cup, 1.5 cups of chopped onions.
Okay. 1.5 cups.
And we'll put that in with the hamburger that's browning here vigorously. This works out to be, how you coming on that?
Peachy.
Okay. 1.5 cups or thereabouts. I think that's too much onions. You'll have to kind of decide for yourself how much you want to put in. There's one.
There's 1 cup.
No, not in there.
Okay, we'll put a half a cup in there.
Yeah, put a half a cup in here.
Put a half a cup in there?
Yeah, half a cup in here.
Okay.
Okay, now. That's okay. I don't claim to be able to sing. Don't you ever claim to be able to cook, okay? It would all kind of mix down in underneath this. And then you've got your preheated oven at 450 degrees. This goes in for about 30 minutes or so. And we'll just wait on. Okay, good.
Hold that.
And it's done. And this is what you end up with.
Came out right, didn't it?
Is this something?
Fast, too, huh?
Cut part of this up here. Let's see how this comes out, if it comes out like chunks of pie. It didn't say anything about, greasing the pan ahead of time. And
I don't want to hear about the onions in the mixture anymore.
Okay. It didn't say to on the recipe, but it comes out just like that.
Great.
See, and the Bisquick mixture floats down in amongst the hamburger. Is that pretty good?
That's neat.
Do you want to taste it? It's warm. Go ahead.
Sure, I'll try it. Let me get it.
You're going to have to, because I'm not about to. Go ahead. Just take a little taste of that.
Okay, let's see.
What do you think?
Hey, Devon, what you got? What you got, Devon? Why don't you show it to me?
costs 10.
Wow. All right.
I got $100.
What? What's that? Show me that again. My gosh.
Well, you better hang on to that. You want Mama to keep it for you? Talking, so I turned it up. Devon will talk to you on it if you want to talk. Oh, well, you can get those later. If you need someone to talk, he'll talk.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Oh, 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 oh.
You talk to me, Larry. I gotta see.
He's got enough things to talk.
Can I see you?
Mostly him.
Can
Who's these walkie-talkies?
I see one?
No.
Me? Why?
Both of them break one.
No. Yeah, that one and this one.
Both. You got two sets of walkie-talkies. Two Gary.
No, this one and that one. This one.
Is yours on?
Gary. Nice break. Oh, those are Russian walkie-talkies. Gary.
Hey, Devon, Gary.
Gary.
Yes, we can hear number 29.
He's got
Here, Gary.
Okay, thank you.
Russell. Well, Devon, I had a test. I got a present. Turn yours off. They're out there playing.
I know they are.
Where is it?
I opened it already. Right here. You see it? Sharon got me.
Ooh, look at that. 29, 29. You better talk right next to it. Right next to your mouth. Talk slowly. Right? You hear you say something. Over.
They're really packing here, aren't they?
I love it. 29, I can't hear you. Over.
No, these are all. These are oh, no, that was that.
Here, function of it when I'm
Where is it?
Now it's talking English. Hey, Devon, speak in Spanish. Yeah, Devon. Devon, ¿dónde está usted, Devon?